So you're dating this guy and you're really liking him. It's been a few months and things seem to be going really well. But still, he hasn't brought up the commitment talk and you really don't know what to think. That's right, you're in a situationship, but you want to be in a relationship. So what do? In this video, I'm going to tell you the one thing, the one change that you must make to get him to commit now. No tricks, no schemes, no games. One thing you must do. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Antonio Borrello. Welcome to my channel. In my last video, I talked about situationships and why they are often a terrible idea. I'll include a link for you to check them out in the comments below. So if you remember, a situationship is basically a pseudo relationship. It's an almost relationship. You're seeing a person regularly, doing things that couples do, including physical intimacy and sex. But there's no talk of commitment, no talk of a relationship, no talk of exclusivity or future goals. And this just continues, lasting for months and even years. And as I said before, it's okay to be in a situationship if that's what you want at the moment. There's nothing wrong with enjoying someone's company and taking things slowly until you want to give them more. But oftentimes, women find themselves in a situationship, but they really want to be in a committed relationship. And if you spend enough time together, the "what are we" conversation inevitably comes up and is met with, "I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I don't want a commitment at this time. I don't have time for this. Why do we need labels? Things are going so well." You know, you've probably heard all of the excuses. So now what? You like this person and you have a great time together. You're acting like a couple, but they don't want a commitment. What do? How can you get your man to commit? I'm going to share some time-tested advice and suggestions that are sure to get your guy to commit. And I'm saving the most important one for last, because without doing the last one, without making that last change, the others won't matter at all. So make sure you get that one. It's absolutely essential. Before you start making any changes, you gotta ask yourself, is this a person who's really relationship worthy? How much of your desire to be in a committed relationship is influenced by the fact that he doesn't want one? You know, it's the classic, we want what we can't have. And if you get him, are you gonna still want him? Make sure that he's capable of a relationship with emotional intimacy, that he's someone who values love, loyalty, mutual respect, and the possibility of a future. Because without these, the relationship is nothing more than a casual thing that becomes disposable. Again, is the situationship really that good? Are you really that compatible? Do you share mutual respect and strong feelings? Can you see yourself making long-term plans with this person? If yes, let's go on. So let's assume that he's not a player, he's none of those things, but rather he's simply on the fence regarding being committed to you. How do you get him to commit? Well, the first thing you must do is to change your mindset and keep things light and fun. Even though you're disappointed by his lack of commitment, you have to hide that disappointment and keep things light and fun and carefree. Not one time, but every time. Light, fun, easygoing, confident, not disappointed, not frustrated, or insecure about where things are going. Every time he thinks of you, you want him to be thinking about fun things. He's going to associate you with everything fun. Number 2, stop talking about commitment. If you've already had the discussion and you're on different pages of the book, further discussing or trying to convince him of your point of view will likely backfire. The more you talk about it, the more pressure he will feel, and that's not a good thing. He knows what you want, and every time you bring it up, he'll pull further and further away from you. If you really want this guy to finally commit to being in an exclusive relationship with you, you need to stop talking or bringing up anything about the future or relationships. Number 3, prioritize your needs and put yourself first. Sometimes people go out of their way to show the person they're dating how much they like them. In doing so, they feel like they don't want to disappoint them. They jump at every opportunity to talk, to hang out, to text. And usually that's a good thing, but not in situationships. In this case, you need to take the attention off of him and put it back on yourself. Take care of you first. Pick up some hobbies. Make and keep plans with your friends. Fill up your social calendar, and when he calls last minute to make plans, oops, sorry, I have plans. This will make him prioritize and plan his time with you. And keep it mysterious. You don't have to tell him you're going to dinner with your parents. You're just going to dinner. If he inquires about who you're going with, that's a good thing. And that brings me up to my next point. Number 4, be mysterious. That means that you don't have to share every detail of your daily activities with him. No need to over-explain every little thing. You want him to wonder, to develop intrigue. Share bits and pieces of your life slowly and make him earn your trust. Number 5, become scarce. This can be difficult to do because when you like someone, you want to spend as much time with them as possible. But this will often backfire. Think about the principle of scarcity. Things that are scarce are more valuable. If your time is scarce, it has more value. Plus, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And don't say out of sight, out of mind. He's got to be wondering about you. Let him have the thoughts that you've had. The thoughts that if he really cared or if she really cared, she would make time for me. Number 6, become less interested. Now, this will only work if you're able to pull off the first step of keeping things light and fun and carefree. When you pretend to be less interested following a disagreement or a disappointment, he will take it to mean that you're upset or that you're disappointed and angry and maybe even pouting. Instead, you become less interested combined with all the things I just mentioned, and he will fight harder to regain your attention, and it will make him want to take things to the next level. Again, put your needs first, take some steps to take your mind off of what he's doing or thinking, get busy with friends, work, school, hobbies, and stop contacting or responding like he's your number 1 priority. Number 7, make him invest in you. People care more when they put more effort into their relationships. So if you want your guy to commit, you have to let him invest in you. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about allowing him to help you with things. Small favors, helping you complete a project at home, helping you with your studies, things that take time and effort. The more he invests, the more he will like you as a result. I know it seems counterintuitive, but trust me, we appreciate and value the things that we work hard for. Number 8, keep your options open. Until your guy finally realizes that you're the girl for him, don't stop dating other men. Keep your options open even if you're not particularly interested in these other guys. Don't be obnoxious about it or in his face about it. You don't want him to be accused of trying to make him jealous. Instead, keep your social calendar full of dates with others, and you'll be less worried about what your guy is doing. He will definitely notice that you're not as available as you once were, and it will just add the right amount of anxiety to get him to take action. These suggestions aren't anything that you haven't heard before. Do a Google search, and you will find countless articles and videos that essentially say the same thing. Focus on you, know your value, make him work for it, become less available, keep your options open. All of them are effective, yet they can feel terrifying to implement. Why? Because they feel counterintuitive and risky. I can hear their reasons and excuses now. Oh, if I'm not available, he'll find someone else. If I'm not responsive, he'll find someone who is. If I don't call him back, he will think I don't like him. If I seem less interested, he'll become less interested or find someone who's more interested. Yes, all of them feel risky. You're fearing the worst thing that could possibly happen, that he will become less interested and that the relationship won't work. All of this is driven by the fear of being rejected. So the last one, the most important one, number 9, is overcome your fear of being rejected. Overcome your fear of the relationship ending. What's the worst thing that could happen? What's going to happen if you get rejected? Is the world coming to an end? Are you going to die? Nope. It's simply that the friendship is over and that you're no longer dating. And you will survive. How many years have you lived without this person in your life? How long have you been dating? 3 months? 6 months? A year? What was your life like before you met Mr. Wonderful? Has he been the reason that you've made it thus far in life? I mean, I know I'm being ridiculous, but really, rejection is simply a disappointing feeling. It's a feeling and it hurts. And you'll probably miss that person too. You'll miss the things that you did together. Okay, that's true. But you must adopt the belief that if it's meant to happen, it will. If you're not compatible, it's not going to work out in the long run anyway. Rejection doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you, ever. It only means that whatever we are asking for is not meant to happen at this moment. It doesn't mean we stop living or bury ourselves in a hole. And please, please don't ruminate about why. Don't wonder about what he's thinking. You cannot mind read, and you've not lived in his skin. What you're imagining could be completely untrue. The last thing I want to say is this. If a relationship is meant to be, if he's the person for you, if you're really that compatible, then implementing these suggestions will certainly bring him to wanting a commitment with you. That's for sure. But if it's not right, if he's not the right one for you, if there are too many differences, or if he's not the committing type, nothing you can do will change that outcome. It just won't work. And that's okay. Oh, yeah. And there are a few unintended consequences of implementing these suggestions into your life. Along with the struggle and fear, these suggestions will bring you to a healthier place and ready for the right relationship. You become stronger and able to overcome peaks and valleys better with each lesson learned. You become aware of what you want and what you don't want in a relationship and are able to make decisions based on what is best for you. It's very liberating and empowering to know that if one person rejects you, that person was not really right and that someone better is coming along. So, have I missed any good suggestions for encouraging a guy to commit? If so, I'd love to hear them. That's it for this video. If you found it helpful, please take a moment and hit that thumbs up button, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The one change that you must make to get him to connect? Yeah, get him to connect. Buy him a Wii U and connect with him. Nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong, and there's nothing right. So there's no talk of before we begin, do a Google search. Do a Google And he's someone who values love, loyalty, let's assume that he's not a player, but rather he's can you see making your papa? But rather he's simply on the fence regarding being committed. That means you don't have to share every detail of your, you want him to wonder, If your time is scarce, it has to be more valuable. He's got to be wondering about you. Let him have the thoughts that you've been having. Keep your options open even if you're not particularly decisions based on the best thing that for you is very liberating, empowering to know that if the person was not really the right one and all that. Is it simple? Then you start all over like this.